These TV speakers suck. I think it's high time that I finally get a home theater system. I keep hearing things about Dolby Atmos. Maybe I should get those. Yeah, let's do it.
If you're thinking of stepping up your home theater game to Dolby Atmos, don't be intimidated by some of the
scavenging birds, I don't know.
Don't be intimidated by some of the shocking sticker prices you might see with some setups. You can get a solid, dependable, and surprisingly powerful 5.1.2 Dolby Atmos setup for under $1,000. Let's do this. Howdy, 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 ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elon Osborne, and thanks for joining me on my YouTube channel where I talk about movies, audio, and music. But more specifically, I'm gonna break down the steps
to awkwardly end conversations.
I'm gonna break down the steps on how you can get yourself a great sounding Dolby Atmos setup without breaking the bank. If you like having conversations about movies, audio, and music, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out. And if you like my silly way of presenting this information to you, there are so many ways to support this channel. Join my Patreon for exclusive content, download my music on Bandcamp, get yourself some merch on Teespring, put some of my digital art on your walls from my Etsy shop, or read my children's book to your kids. So many ways! Thank you for your support. Now that we got that out of the way,
boy, you read my mind.
Having a 5.1.2 Dolby Atmos home theater setup is actually more easily attainable than you might imagine.
Step 1.
You might know that I can't help but sing praises about my Klipsch reference theater pack because of its low price point, high quality satellite speakers, and surprisingly powerful subwoofer. So you need to get yourself one too. And I recommend that through Costco since year round the price is $450. But sometimes it's even on sale for $350. Say what? But I also know you can find them on Amazon for $350s, maybe even sometimes $320. But Amazon isn't 100% reliable, so I recommend going to Costco if you can. And also, Jeff Bezos is a terrible person, so...
Step 2.
Another addition from Klipsch, you can get a pair of R-41M bookshelf speakers for only $140. But sometimes they even go on sale for $90. A pair of Klipsch bookshelf speakers for under $100?
Step 3.
Since the Klipsch speakers I mentioned are passive, they need to be powered by a receiver. Look no further than the Sony...
Not too familiar.
Look no further than the Sony STR-DH790. This 7.2 channel receiver can decode Dolby Atmos and dts-x codecs, and it's only $350 at Best Buy. But it's also up to modern standards, being able to control it via smartphone and being able to stream music through it via Bluetooth.
Recap.
Klipsch Reference Theater Pack, which you can get at Costco for $450 and sometimes on sale for $350. A pair of Klipsch R-41M bookshelf speakers, which are also at Costco for $140, sometimes on sale for $90. And the Sony STR-DH790 7.2 channel receiver. If you get the whole setup not on sale, that's a total of $940. If you happen to get both Costco items on sale, you can get the whole system for a whopping $790. Remember, we're talking about a wide, discrete, dependable, powerful Dolby Atmos setup with a receiver for only $800? What more do you need to know? Why does the receiver need 7 channels? Ah yes.
Ah yes.
The term channel is simply describing the number of speakers in the system. So in order to
do things?
So in order to create a Dolby Atmos soundstage, you're going to need at least 7 channels. 2 front speakers, 1, 2. A center speaker, 3. 2 surround sound speakers, 4, 5. And 2 height channels, 6, 7. 7 channels. But technically we're no longer dealing with a 7.1 channel system because now we're dealing with height channels in the mix.
What?
When you see the numbers 5.1.2, the 5 represents the number of speakers at or near ear level. The 1 represents the number of subwoofers in the system, and the 2 represents the number of height speakers. Got it?
Got it. Side note.
Also, since the Sony receiver is 7.2 channel, it can support up to 2 subwoofers. Speaking of subwoofers, 2 actually is better than 1, FYI.
Oh, sure.
If you have 1 subwoofer, there may be some dead spots in the room where the low frequencies just don't get to them as well. So having that second subwoofer will fill in those gaps and make it a more immersive, fuller audio experience. I'm not talking about cranking both subwoofers up to the max and having your neighbors call the police. What I'm saying is having 2 subwoofers operating at 50% will still be better than 1 subwoofer maxed out at 100%. You feel me?
Yeah, I guess.
Now, the other reason I mentioned that Sony receiver
Take 2.
is because it's one of the most inexpensive 7.2 channel receivers on the market that can also decode Dolby Atmos. You need a Dolby Atmos compatible receiver to make this setup work, or else you're not going to get the height aspect that you need. You might put speakers on the ceiling, but if you don't have...
Angry bears.
You might put speakers on the ceiling, but if it's not being decoded properly, it won't actually be outputting the sounds that are supposed to be happening above you.
Patrick, there is one more thing I want you to have.
Unreliable!
That's right, these are old reliable speakers that need good old-fashioned speaker wire. If you don't happen to have some lying around already, get yourself some 14 gauge copper speaker wire from Monoprice. I know it's more expensive, but make sure and get the copper wiring. There is cheaper speaker wire out there that is aluminum inside, but I trust copper over aluminum. The Klipsch Reference Theater Pack speakers are rated to handle up to 14 gauge. The thicker the better, so get 14 gauge. And depending on how large your home theater space is, you might need to get 50 feet, 100 feet, 200 feet. Just remember to take that into account when you're about to purchase speaker wire, and also overestimate how much you need, just in case.
Step 5.
Once you have all the parts, now it's time for speaker placement, which can have many variations, so I'll just go over a couple in this video. For your left and right front speakers, the ones that go on either side of the TV, use the Klipsch R-41M bookshelf speakers. Depending on your personal preference, you can either mount them to the wall, put them on your TV stand, or put them on speaker stands. For the center channel, use the center speaker from the Klipsch Reference Theater Pack. It's the longer one with 2 copper woofers. The center speaker is usually placed below or above the TV as close as possible, so it sounds like the dialogue is coming from the TV. So that may mean placing it on a TV stand or mounted just below or just above the TV. For the rear surrounds, use 2 of the satellite speakers from the Klipsch Reference Theater Pack.
Note.
One might think, well, since they're surround sound speakers, they gotta go behind me, right? Well, yes and no. In a standard 5.1 surround sound system, the rear surrounds are actually supposed to go just slightly behind and to the side of the main listening position. Cool?
Cool.
Again, you can mount them to the wall or place them on top of speaker stands. Now for the height channels, use the 2 remaining satellite speakers from the Klipsch Reference Theater Pack. And these can be placed at a few different spots. These can be mounted above the TV, in the corner where the ceiling and the wall meet, or mounted right on the ceiling itself. Wherever they may be though, unlike a subwoofer that can be placed anywhere, the satellite speakers are very directional. So you want to make sure they are pointed at the main listening position.
Step 6.
Now that you have your speakers in place, now it's up to the Sony receiver software to decode your speaker arrangement. Since I don't actually have the Sony STR-DH790, after you watch this, head on over to your boy Techno Dad because he's got a video where he breaks down how to set up Dolby Atmos on the Sony STR-DN1080, which has the same software interface. And then enjoy immersive Dolby Atmos audio in your new home theater system.
Dolby Atmos achievement unlocked!
So if you happen to get all the components at full price, and speaker wire, and stands or wall mounts, it might bring you just above $1,000 including taxes and shipping and all that. But if you got all the components at their sale price, no question it should be under $1,000. Speaker wire, stands, wall mounts and all.
Boom!
So there you have it, folks.
In this COVID-19 era of entertainment, everybody deserves to experience the awesomeness of Dolby Atmos in their home theater without breaking the bank. And now that's more possible than you might have imagined. Again, if you enjoy having conversations about movies, audio, and music, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss another video like this. And of course, always be listening.